Thank you very much for staying on Joynews. This is Newsdesk with me, Kemini Nyamani. I'm on the program this morning. Should we or should we not abrogate contract between TSL Logistics Limited and BOST here in Ghana? We'll find out more exactly what this is as far as the contract is concerned. The CPP is held its National Congress. What is the new game plan for the CPP? In the course of the program, we'll find some answers to the many questions I'm sure you have in your mind as far as the CPP is concerned. Delegates have started making their way to Tamale, where the NPP will hold its National Delegates Congress come April 12. I told you yesterday we have already pitched camp in Tamale. Emmanuel will bring us up to speed what's been going on. Thank you very much for joining me here on Newsdesk. You can share your thoughts with me on our social media platforms, Joynews on TV, on Facebook and on Twitter. I'll be so glad to share your thoughts with the rest of us here in the world. I'll be right back. We'll get into our issues soon. I'm glad you could stay on. Let's get into our first issue, which has to do with BOST. And the Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors is asking President Mahama to intervene and get the bulk oil storage and transfer company to suspend the contract outsourcing the management of its petroleum storage facilities within the Accra Plains Depot to TSL Logistics Ghana Limited, a Ghanaian subsidiary of a Nigerian-owned and based TSL Logistics Limited. In a petition copied to the Chief of Staff and the Minister of Energy, the association said BOST's intention to outsource the management of its tank farm to TSL, owned by Jide Tinubu, the younger brother of Wale Tinubu, CEO of Wando, is a slap in the face of President Mahama's clarion call for Ghanaians to be placed at the center of the economy's development. Let's go over to the telephone and speak to Senyo Hosi here, CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, who try and water down this issue with the contract with TSL and BOST. Hello, Senyo.
Hello, Kamini. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Well, I'm very disappointed as a Ghanaian as at now that the taxpayers' money and the resources of Ghana are actually used to promote foreign-owned businesses at the expense of local businesses. I think we are Ghanaian. We pay our taxes. The government and the president have made his ideology clear, and I think that these are policy directives. If you recall, in the State of the Nation's address, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama stated clearly, when Ghanaians produce, I quote him, when Ghanaians produce goods that other Ghanaians use, they are then able to reinvest that revenue back into the very communities that patronize them. The money flows in a currency and it fortifies the nation's economy. That is the best use of a nation's currency. On Independence Day, he said, if we are to be truly independent, we cannot allow our destiny to be determined by corporations, industries, or individuals who exist beyond our national borders. And that is precisely what we are doing, where the majority of what we consume comes from outside. For God's sake, we have people with competence in here. In fact, superior experience in here, right on the shores of Ghana. Not even foreign-owned, but actually indigenous Ghanaian-owned. Look at the tank farms you have there. Investment of up to 180 million in infrastructure and then in skills. Why do we have to go out there and take a Nigerian-owned company, a Nigerian-owned company that has no track record here and whose capacity is not up to any of the capacities of the indigenous Ghanaians on our own shores? It's a real disappointment and it's a slap in the face of the president's speeches. I don't believe that our president will speak in poetry whilst others want to act in prose. Who is running the government? If the presidency himself has said this is how we should act, we should put the locals ahead in government procurement. Why on earth
Senor,
an institution as BOST
be
allowed to go for TSL?
Senor, can you hear me?
Yes, my dear.
Let's try and understand what sort of service TSL Logistics provides BOST.
The agreement, as it stands, is an agreement to upgrade, to maintain, and to manage, their facilities. The terminal is a terminal management contract. They are claiming it's a 12-month pilot with an option to renew for 5 good years. Which part of that is pilot? And this expertise, as in how to manage a tank farm, meaning that you take care of the product, it's like warehousing. The goods come in there, you make sure when the goods go out, there are no losses, or the losses are within acceptable limits. There's professionalism there, there's accountability there. Yes, I do agree, BOST has been having challenges with that part of their management. And I have no qualms with the concept or the idea to want to outsource it. But if you want to outsource the management of your tank farms, I think the first thing you should do is to first invite the locals with the competence. You have a procurement process that involves none of us. You just call us in to tell us that you are going to do this and bring your products. We buy. I start to buy from Nigeria when I can do it myself. With all due respect, I have no issues with Nigerians. I'm born in Nigeria and I've worked in Nigeria. Great people, but I do not think for a second that ever would a nation, republic, or what, the federal state, Nigeria, do such a thing like this for a Ghanaian company. And a Ghanaian company whose competence is not at par with the competence that a Nigerian would have had. It won't happen in Nigeria, never. It's important that the state institutions, the government, and everybody's thinking should be out there trying to champion the cause of the local entrepreneur. That is how Ghana will grow. If a government or a state cannot believe in its own proven people, who will? Do you expect China to come and believe in us, or Nigeria to come and believe in us, when we cannot believe in our own people who have shown capability, professionalism? It's disappointing. I shudder to think that the president will ever be aware of this and let this happen, because these are not his words. And once he's the president, we hopefully will be sending a petition directly to him, possibly with other allied agencies. We need to put Ghana first in our thinking. We need to promote the Ghanaian. Let me quote the president one more time, just 1 minute, please. The president says that Ghanaians are some of the most enterprising people in the world. I'm quoting him. We are smart. We are creative. We are crafty. We have a good business sense. And when put to the test, we are indeed hardworking.
Senor, you've mentioned the fact that the service that TSL is providing for BOST could have equally been provided by some local players.
Who have proven and even superior competence?
How many of these companies exist?
We currently have 3 companies who are indigenous Ghanaians. We have 3. We only have others who are actually building up these facilities. And we're definitely in that process acquire the competence. But we do have 3.
Did these companies... Right, go ahead.
Tomorrow, we will be calling a press conference.
Okay.
We would invite you over to have a tour of these facilities. You see the professionalism with which they are run. And it's not been running for just a year. Some of them have been there for years.
I see. Now, did these companies bid for the same contracts?
Nobody was invited to bid. It's a sole source thing. Why sole source at the disadvantage of your own people? I mean, of what reason? You have a plan to invest up to $10 million also in this facility for these Nigerians. They are going to have to, for this company, TSL is even going to have to take this money back out. When they make profits out of this, where will it go? You tell me. Will it sleep here in Ghana?
I see. Now, Senor,
we talk about capital flight. These are the things. We can't have the government working against itself. We can't have a state working against itself. You petitioned the minister and the board chairman of BOST, according to you, 1 clear week before the contract was signed. What happened? Well, in between time, we were looking for a formal meeting, which we never had with the minister. We were equally trying to engage BOST to review its decision. We were rather being called and asked to withdraw our petition. That was a communication coming from BOST. We should withdraw our petition. How can you even think like this? Your people bring to you a legitimate case. You don't even give them audience to even hear them. And you rather tell them that to discuss with them, we should withdraw our petition. Is that the kind of government we want to run? We want to cow people. It's the last thing that I think democracy stands for. We are one people. We have one common cause. We all want the good of Ghana. And that's how our leaders, our people in public institutions should be thinking and acting. I am disappointed, foremostly, not as a CEO of a chamber, but foremostly as a Ghanaian. I wonder whether my efforts as a Ghanaian will even be worth it. Because when I even show my capacity and competence, I am ignored. I'm not even invited to even compete with them. People who have less capacity. And trust me, I have no single doubt whether or not TSL will do it or not, because the problems at BOST is not rocket science. It's not rocket science. You need investments to turn around BOST. You equally need process controls reviewed. These are things that we do every time. We've done it.
So, Senor, what now?
Our next step, like I said, we hold a press conference tomorrow, and that's something that we will be taking. No, because just in case you don't know, TSL is definitely not registered with the MPA, and that is against the laws of Ghana for them to operate and manage any terminal here in Ghana. You can't ride on the back of an owner of a facility. That doesn't happen. I mean, according to the laws of Ghana, you may have to cross-check that yourself with the MPA. We'll take you guys out there on a tour, hopefully tomorrow, and you see what Ghanaians have been able to achieve. Beyond that, we are going to petition the president directly, because we haven't petitioned the president as a date. And we equally have other industry watchers who are expressing willingness to help us prosecute this local content case. And we'll see how the government will react, whether the government is honest about its words when it speaks beautifully about local content, or it just speak.
I see, Senor, we'll leave our conversation here. Unfortunately, we were trying to raise a Deputy Minister of Energy over the phone, but it's not been successful. So we will let it go for now. Thank you very much, Senor. Senor Hossi is CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors. And some of you have also been sharing your thoughts with me already on Facebook. Sal Fiagbe says the call is unnecessary. The president has a lot to do, and can't the appropriate institutions be petitioned? If the move is illegal, why don't we seek redress from the law courts? Some they have petitioned to the appropriate institutions. Nothing has come out of it, and they are moving to the next level, which is also part of the president's job. And well, Abdul Razak says things should be done properly without any fear. Beatrice Owusu-Ashia says if we are in this country and we can't manage our own resources, I think it's better foreigners do for us. The government should do what? I live in Boipe, where one of your depot is, and it's very appalling how people manage to steal our oil to neighboring countries because they think that is where they will get more money. After that, we blame government. We are not serious as a country. Those are your thoughts. Keep them coming in on Joynews, on TV, on Facebook. I live on Facebook as well, Kemini Amano, or I tweet at Kemini or at Joynews on TV. I'll be so glad to share your thoughts with the rest of us here in this community, the Newsdesk community. In the meantime, when I return from the break, we'll go to Tamale and find out what's been happening as far as preparations towards the April 12th. Today is April 8th. We'll find out what's been happening as far as preparations towards the National Delegates Congress is concerned. The CPP has already held its National Delegates Congress. What is the new game plan? We'll find out when I return. I'm glad you could stay on. Now, the New Patriotic Party will Saturday elect national executives to stay affairs of the party ahead of the 2016 polls. I'm sure you already know that. Some 5,200 delegates are expected to cast their ballots to choose national leaders for the party. And 1,200 security personnel would be detailed there, including will be detailed to some hostels and hotels to ensure a violence-free event in the region. Earlier today, Emmanuel Ante spoke with some residents, and we bring you a playback.
And some hours to the election day of the NPP election to elect their members for the 2016 elections. Now, we are in Tamale, Gombehene, Waterworks Road. We are trying to find out from people how the euphoria here is and what they are thinking of or what they make of the program. I have with me here the TESCON president of the Tamale Poly.
We are happy because we learned the party history originated from the northern region here, and we've never had such program in the region here. It's this time round that the party think it wise bringing it here. So we are very happy and welcome that, and we believe subsequently such programs will be held in the northern region here.
All right, now let's talk about the euphoria in town. Up to yesterday, there was not much to indicate that something is about happening here. But at dawn, we can see that there are some flags hoisted around the light posts and all that. What is the euphoria here?
Really, as you just said, you can see we hesitated mounting the flags and other things because, you know, the rain is just setting in here. So it has destroyed a lot of banners and posters around town. So we are replacing it again. So we said, we advised ourselves that we have to delay so that getting some few days to the election, we can just mount those things so that it can take us beyond the election date. That's why you are now just seeing it. But we mounted it even 1 month ago, and rain has destroyed majority of the posters and the banners here.
Right. Now, how prepared are you for the event?
Oh, we are very much prepared. As you can see, we are happy that the regional executives, they are just briefing us as to how it's going on, and you, the media, too, you are helping. Because most of the time you interview our leaders and they always see how the preparation has gone. Especially the chairman, I could hear the chairman yesterday in the morning explaining how preparations have gone far. So we too, we are very much happy when we hear them saying that everything is advancing. We are very grateful.
What do you make of the event, the National Delegates Conference that is being held, is going to be held in Tamale here?
Yeah, it's been good. My name is Mohammed Amin, the electoral area coordinator of the Gumbini South. Electoral area for Tamale Central. Yeah, so far the euphoria is very nice. As you can see, the flags are flying high, and the candidates so far have organized almost not less than 10 groups within the electoral area. And then we can see that Paula Foko, Stephen and Tim, John Bedu, they're all in, and all the youth groups are rallying behind them. I think so far the euphoria is very nice, and everybody's ready for the D-Day, that is Saturday.
So you're mentioning some names. Do I take it that they are your best choice for the positions you're mentioning?
No, you know, the youth groups, as for them, they go to make their own choices. They believe these people or this person can be can help the party win 2016 elections. So they are in and they are making their own choices. They are assessing them, and so far they are going in for such candidates.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, what in your own power as a young person, what have you done, or what are you making? What plans are you making to ensure that the security of the people that will be besieging Tamale are taken care of?
Oh yes, most of the youth groups, they are calm, and I don't think they would want to mad or disturb the security situation in Tamale, especially the MPP boys, because they are organizing the conference. So therefore, they will not want any other person to come and disturb. So therefore, everything is in order. I think they are doing well towards that.
Come on!
And yes, we will bring you live coverage of that event April 12. In the meantime, Emmanuel Ante, who's been there since Monday, is joined us over the telephone again. Hello, Ima.
Hello, Kamini.
What has changed since your first report?
Come again, Kamini.
I'm asking what has changed since your first report.
Well, now I have the proposed program lineup from now to the day of the election. That's Saturday. Now, what I'm being told is that Opari Hammond and Stephen are coming here this afternoon. they are coming here to discuss internal issues and internal security arrangements they themselves have made with the facility owners to ensure that the program goes on smoothly. They are to discuss amendments of the program lineup. So the program lineup, as was given earlier on, will be amended and then it will change. On Wednesday, Kwabena Jepong and Yabuabing are also expected in town.
Let's try and get to know these people. Kwabena Jepong and Yabuabing are both vying for general secretaries.
Yes, Kamine, that's what they are both vying for the same position, and they are here. They are going to be here from tomorrow going to start doing their campaign already. Kwabena Jepong's campaign team is already in town, and they are visiting the people in their homes and their houses, doing the door-to-door campaign thing. That's what is going on. Martin and Opaye Hammond are also expected to start distributing the accreditation on Wednesday.
Okay.
On Wednesday. It was initially proposed to be today, but from the time that they will be arriving, the flight time that we have been told is at 2 p.m. today. And so when they get here, it will be difficult for them to start arranging, because when they get here, they will quickly move into a meeting to start the amendment, the meeting that will amend the program lineup. So the accreditation will start to be released, or will start to be distributed from tomorrow going. Now, delegates are also expected to start arriving from tomorrow. And then the contestants are also expected to start addressing the delegates from Thursday going. They are supposed to meet them one after the other, one-on-one, and then they will be given a platform to tell them their manifestos, what they have planned is in their bid to win the position. So those ones will be done on Thursday. That's the provisional arrangement that they have made. All the delegates and contestants are also expected to be in from Friday. Everybody is expected to be in town. And I have the information too that Paula Foko, who was also thought to be in town, is not yet in town. He will be in town tomorrow morning. That's the information I have.
Last time we spoke on Newsdesk, you mentioned Tamale was still a normal place to be. Nothing had changed about Tamale. What would you say about now?
Well, I can tell you that now the excitement is building up now, little by little. Now they have posted, they have put some flags from and to the event ground on the road, on the light posts and all that. People have started wearing their national colors, their national New Patriotic Party colors, and so the euphoria has started building up. The interest, the enthusiasm has started building up now. But one significant thing that is going on is that when we speak to both the NPP supporters, the youth especially, and the NDC supporters who are also in town, they are all bent on making sure that an event-free happens here on Saturday. They are all bent on helping anybody that is sick or that comes to the Tamale town to go out of Tamale with a good impression of the Tamale town itself, so that what is the picture that is being painted out there, that the people from the north are very violent and they are always fighting, will be taken out of context. So, Kamini, this is what is going on now. I'm even on my way to the party national, the regional headquarters of the party, to ensure to get more information as to what is happening. The chairman of the committee has also promised me that after the meeting he will meet with me and then probably give me the whole plan for the election from now to Saturday and the event day itself. And we are also trying our best to secure a place for both radio and TV, where we will have better position to get everything, or to get better coverage of the proceedings and bring it to our viewers as if they are here in Tamale and in the stadium.
Absolutely.
So that's what's been going on.
Absolutely. Ima, thank you very much. Emmanuel Ante joined us from Tamale, and he's been there ahead of the National Delegates Congress for the NPP. Let's move from one Congress to the other, or from one political party to the other. And the national chairperson of the Convention People's Party, Samia Nkrumah, is calling for more commitment and loyalty from party members to break the duopoly of the two main political parties in the country. She said for the CPP to break the duopoly of NDC and NPP over decision-making and be part of what she described as the rebirth of the party, it needs internal reforms to determine how close they can get to political power.
Sammy Nkrumah was addressing a National Executive Council meeting in Tamale to discuss how to improve the party's chances in the next general elections. The meeting was also used to devise strategies that will ensure the smooth running of the party.
If our aim is to emerge from the 2016 election as decision makers to impact on the life of Ghanaians in a positive manner, then we can only do this by destroying the duopoly, the hegemony, the control of the two main parties.
She also expressed worry about the manner in which some members of the CPP are easily bought to join the two main political parties, the NDC and NPP, a development she says weakens and erodes the message of the party.
If you ask me, what is the single most important requirement for us to return to power, I would tell you without hesitation, it is members who are committed to our vision to free our country from dependence. Loyal members who cannot succumb to fear, members who cannot be tempted, members who cannot be both.
Hashmin Mohammed's report for Joynews.
Right, so let's deal with this matter. I'm joined in the studio by Deputy CPP Communications Director Atani Delali. Thank you very much for joining us here on Newsdesk.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. But you held a delegates congress, and we heard nothing about it.
Oh, yeah, because the media has not been following us, and it's unfortunate because it appears the media has have that perception that we are a minority. And for that matter, we don't count.
Are you
indeed, not? We do count a lot.
No, I mean, are you not a minority?
We are, but okay. If you're looking at technically, we are the biggest party in this country, technically. You understand? But it appears that the media is driven towards where...
I think you didn't throw light on it, because a national delegates congress, maybe you were not confident about the number, because we would have reported on the numbers anyway.
No, it wouldn't matter the numbers. I mean, how many people attend, you understand? It's a net meeting, and for that matter, we didn't need I mean, a quantum of people to make it a reality. We believe that even as few people that we have, it is those who are committed that matters, not necessarily passing people around to say. We want the real people, those who are committed, and like you said, those who cannot be bought. You understand?
What technically makes the CPP the biggest party?
We gave birth to this country, and indeed the whole of Africa. And it is important for the people of this country to have learned a little bit of our history, to understand the genesis of the party, where we were, where we got to, and where we are now. And it is this lack of knowledge by the public that has made the youth especially driven to the NPP and NDC. Indeed, those who are between the 40s and 45, they don't even know much about the Convention People's Party, unless you read. If you look at the books I have here, Africa Must Unite, the Dark Days in Ghana. Indeed, if you read chapter 1 of Dark Days in Ghana, your whole total environment in terms of who to vote for will change. There's no doubt about that. But they are not being made to read the books that Nkrumah wrote. Indeed, he is and still remains the only president who wrote more books than any other president on this planet.
I see. Kwame Julius on Facebook feels that the CPP died of Kwame Nkrumah.
That is not true. The NLM, or the Matime Home people, the UP that has metamorphosed into NPP, when the uprising, would I say even uprising, the counter-revolution happened. They banned everything CPP. Indeed, even if you had Nkrumah, I would have been arrested for wearing Nkrumah's a t-shirt that everything was banned until way back in 2002, when indeed we came out as a party to reorganize ourselves. So everything CPP has not been known to the youth, and indeed those who are.
So the CPP has not undergone any metamorphosis?
For now, we have. I must be emphatic that the leadership we have now has been able to transform the Convention People's Party into a different level. And it is up to the youth to embrace this particular system we have now. With the speed at which we are running in terms of reorganization of the party, we would ask the youth to join the party that speaks the truth. A party that is not monetizing the system. A party that will use the little resources that we have to ensure that we get power and get it clean. We are not paying anybody, and we are not sending any pittance in an envelope for somebody to vote for us. If that is the case, then we are sorry. We are only giving a message that will be on their heart and on their minds to know that, yes, these are the people who would steer affairs of this nation to prosperity. We have sold all our industries. The Convention people set up so many industries, housing across the country. What has happened to the rest of the presidents who have come? They have not, done this. We must commend the Achampon regime. They did something in terms of housing a little bit. Kufuor came to do his bit, but his bit has been led to follow. We support any social intervention that will help the people, ease in terms of their plight and then poverty. Any intervention. The National Health Insurance was a very good one and still remains a very good one. The housing that Kufuor started was a very good one and still remains a good one. And so we do not, at one breath, somebody will say that you are a member of NPP, you speak for NPP. Another breath, somebody will say you speak for NDC. This is the situation because we say the fact as it is, and indeed we have more fact than the rest of the party.
Ahead of before the 2012 elections, the PPP was if you were to rank the parties, it was the third largest party in the country.
Not
in terms of size, but in terms of the kind of the votes and then the percentage with which you could gather.
Yes.
Ahead of the 2012, you were placed third. Let me put it that way. But now the PPP is taking over. How old is the PPP? What is wrong with the CPP?
The CPP. What is wrong with the CPP is the fact that those who purported to be leaders of the party have been bought by the main other parties, that is NPP and NDC, and that is a fact. We have had leaders who have come and said, we want to represent the party, we want to be the flag bearer of the party, yet they are bought by NDC or NPP. Dufo and Co went and they never came back. Blay and Co went, they never came back. Indom went, he came back all right, but he left again. Indeed, if he had the tenet of the philosophy and the ideals of the Convention People's Party in terms of Nkrumah's philosophy, he wouldn't have left, no matter what quarrels happen in every party. So the mere fact that the media blew it out that Samia or the chair has insulted Indom, and Indom understands this better. He knows that saying that we won't tolerate this nonsense again doesn't mean an insult. Indom has lived outside for a very long time. Samia the same way. And for that matter, Indom understood the language Samia spoke. In fact, to usurp on a new administration, thinking that because they are virtually all women, so you want to dictate because you have enough resources, if it comes to the finances of the party, you are the king. And so you want to arrogate all the powers in the party to yourself. It doesn't work that way.
Is it not a matter of the CPP being stuck in the past? And so these people come up, they want new things, and the stuck CPP is unable to move with the flow.
It's a very erroneous and wrong impression with regards to the CPP. The CPP is not stuck. Indeed, we are the only party that came out with a development plan. And the country is not developing because we don't have a plan for the country. We still have the last 7-year development plan there. And what we are saying is that it is important that we modernize this particular 7-year development plan. And every business that has to do or has to be done in the plan, every development that has to be done, there's a cost to it in the development plan. So what we have to do is that if we say we are going to construct a particular project, it is important that we cost it and also show the people of this country where the money will be generated from. Is it internally or from outside? And indeed, it is important also that the quantum of the money so generated should be internal. The loans we have contracted is so much, and for the past 45 to 50 years, we should have known that the tricks of the IMF and World Bank are not taking us anywhere. You understand?
I'm sure we have an idea, but then again, let's look at the option the CPP is giving us. A lot of it is still hinged on the ideologies of Kwame Nkrumah from the 1960s, and you're thinking of 2014, and you're wondering, wouldn't we be fitting square pegs into round holes? Wouldn't we need tweaking?
That is, it is not so. I have mentioned that we need to modernize the 7-year development plan, which will include in it everything. But let me tell you, the fact is that if you have not chanced on the development plan to read it, then you are more or less, opaque in terms of your thinking. The plan has it such that by this time, we should have jumped into a certain level in terms of technology that we would have been the first African country to be on the moon. That is there. Why did we set up the atomic energy? It was not just for studies, it was to make sure that Ghana was the first to be on the moon in Africa. And we set up the Aboso glass factory. Why did we set it up? Nkrumah by then, or the conventional peoples by then, knew that by 2014, we will be changing our wooden windows to glass, sliding doors and everything. Now we import everything. That factory is under divestiture, and it is still there. No government has come and decided that, look, with all the monies we borrow, let us invest in this glass factory and stop the importation of glass for our doors. You understand? So we are not stuck. We are moving forward, and we are very progressive, that we have to do things different. In fact, they are rather retrogressing the country's progress. Because the IMF situation and the World Bank situation, where they will tell you that freeze employment in the public sector for 2 years, and you agree to that. They will tell you that the monies we have given to you, use it to do A, B, C, D, instead of X, Y, Z, that you want to do for your people. You understand? Now they are telling you that freeze salaries on public wages.
Let's come back to the Congress and the CPP as we know it now. What's the status of membership?
It is for this reason that we had this important NEC meeting towards our Congress. What we need to do we need to know the exact membership of the party. So the 5-point agenda for which the chair has put forward is to ensure that we rebrand the party, we retool and recapitalize it, capacity building in terms of training and education, everything. And we are the first party indeed to have made a history of computerizing our system of registration. This will give us the opportunity to know the exact members we have. You can register online and do everything without coming to the headquarters. So if we have an election today, we will be able to know that indeed the 0.whatever percentage, that abysmal failure that we had in the last election, we would know that it's true that we had it. There's no doubt about the fact that we were cheated. But we are not saying that we would have won.
You were?
Yeah, we were. Yes, especially the chair's constituency. You see, that is a fact. We were cheated. And you see, all the parties were cheated one way or the other. But the two major cheaters, NPP and NDC, they did it the most. But one was sharper than the other.
Right, let's not have that conversation. Let's not have that conversation. But you have been doing this recapitalization, retooling, and what's the third one?
Training
since last year, because Samia spoke about rebirth last year. You people are still speaking about rebirth, which means that the rebirth hasn't happened.
No, it's a process. You know, we have to go into 2016 to have another election, isn't it? So rebirth and everything is a process, and you need to farm up plans to ensure that the rebirth is done. If you say rebranding, you can rebrand Ghana for the rest of Ghana's life, you understand? So the fact that we mentioned it last year does not mean that we should it should have been.
But you see, when I can't see, maybe you on the inside you're seeing something, but on the outside, when I can't see anything, then I can't believe, or I am not convinced that any rebranding is taking place. What happened to the constituency officers? What happened to all the things you mentioned? Besides the bio data you took, I'm not sure what else the CPP has done to attract the followership it wants to have.
Yes, that is why I'm saying that the media have not paid attention to the Convention People's Party. So we are more or less resorted in issuing statement. Indeed, even if you issue the statement, most of the media houses, they don't give it the priority that it needs. The attention is not enough.
I think you haven't made yourself visible.
We have. It is the fact that you have not opened your eyes to see what we do. There's no single day we don't go for, single week we don't go for our communications team meeting. Likewise, the other committees. We are working to ensure that come 2016, indeed, if we get 0.1%, we should be able to know that, yes, this is the numbers that we had in our database, and this is what our vote has come as a result of the numbers that we have. We are saying that no matter how small we are, we will continue to propagate the truth and will not monitor. You see, because the system that we are running is based on the principles that do not use money to, bait the people. It makes it difficult for the youth that have already been baited with monies to join the train. And sincerely, there are committed ones who have also seen the course of the future, and for that matter, they have given all the attention to the party to ensure that come 2016, we will be somewhere better in terms of with regards to what we are now.
You could assume that the CPP is having such a terrible time as it moved from 3rd place to the 6th place party in the 2012 presidential elections. And from our conversation, you're doing all you can to bring to put the CPP back on its feet.
Track,
But what exactly is it that you're doing? Because you're talking about rebranding, but I don't know what your rebranding strategy is. You're talking about retooling.
Yeah. If we say rebranding, we mean to give a new face to the party.
What is that new face?
A new face with a positive message. A new face to tell the people of this country that, look, the NDC and NPP have failed us. So that aspect alone, if we do it well, it will be bought by Ghanaians.
But that's the message you have been selling over the years. The fact that both parties have failed us, the fact that it's time for a third force, like you mentioned, the duopoly needs to be broken and all that.
Indeed, you cannot sell the truth and go back to the lies. So if we have sold that message for the past period, we'll continue to sell that message because we believe that that is the truth. You can't change it. We are telling the people that the economy is not being run well. We need to go back to industrialization. We need to go back to create employment for the people. We don't need to sell our factories, the meat marketing board, to Perez Dome and the rest. We don't need to sell our warehouses to churches, you understand? So we are telling the people of this country that, look, get fed up with NDC and NPP. And indeed they are. Because if you look at the performance of both countries, they have sent us back into neocolonialism, which Nkrumah wrote about. You understand? So we are bogged down into a system where we cannot do anything without the support of outsiders.
All right.
And
let me just read some of the messages on our Facebook page. Daniel Ezwa says, I don't really think so, or better still, I win elections with a generation yet to be born when our generation is no more. George Ayamba says, CPP is NDC now. The earlier they get that and merge with the NDC, the better for them. To win a general election on their own in this country would be impossible.
It is very possible. In Germany, it has happened. In America...
But Germany runs a different system from us.
It doesn't matter. It means that if people got fed up with what the system that was being run, you understand? This is a generational problem. And change is is difficult to give change to people. And like people will write this because, like I say, they have not been given the opportunity to know the history of Ghana and the history of the Convention People's Party.
The CPP and the NDC merging, that
perception is very, very elusive and it's untrue, I must say. That yes, it is true that the NDC itself have paraded, or propagated to the outside world that they are the new face of the Convention People's Party. Indeed, they go to our socialist partners to, as it were, get some assistance using the Convention People's Party. And you can agree with me also that all the people over there are made up of the CPP. But there are a few of us who have seen the truth. Indeed, the corruption that is embedded with the government of NDC makes it impossible for them to be the same as the Convention People's Party. That is what the people of this country have to understand. They have been so corrupt to the extent that the country is now stuck in their hands. There's no progress.
But there were some major talks with the PNC. What became of that?
Yes, the talks with, it is very important that the Nkrumah's parties merge with a common interest to win election.
Will that include the NDC? Being an Nkrumah's party?
My sister, that would be very unfortunate if we say we want people who are socialists. These people are telling, NDC are telling us that they are socialist democrats. Their antics and their role of development does not show at all.
I see.
So the Convention People's Party, the Nkrumah's parties, are still in talk in terms of the measure, and it's very positive. In the coming weeks, I mean, the PNC have given us their version of the, what they want on the table and all that. So in the coming weeks, we'll come out to let them know. It is important. We believe that it is this.
To let us know exactly what.
I mean, how far the major process has gone. Because yes, meetings upon meetings are being held, and we all believe that's the the common aspect of us. The PNC and the CPP believe that it is important that we merge. Of course, there are few individuals who feel that as regards to their own interest, they want to, it is not everybody who agree to the fact that we should merge, but the majority are in sync in the fact that we have to merge, and that is going on.
I see. Abdullahi Abdul Razak says the CPP cannot be trusted in terms of our politics. Saidu Mohammed gives a thumbs up and he feels the CPP can't do it. Christian Blistachi says all these political parties are the same. Mukwaya ni Mukwaba, only God can help Ghana. Otre Benjamin says their days are totally over. When are we going to see a complete rebirth of the party?
That should. The completion of the rebirth is a continuous process, but the crest of it or the climax of it should be in 2016, when indeed
2 years from now.
Yes,
when we are going to
the rebirth have started. But what I'm saying is that it's a process and it's evolving. And for that matter, we are saying that rebirth continues forever. And by 2016, the difference will tell Ghanaians that yes, there's indeed a
Are we going to see a change in leadership, sir?
Well, for that one, I can't really sit here.
The CPP does not feel a needs change in leadership?
Well, if somebody comes up to, present his or herself as a flag bearer.
Because you are there, you can't see it.
Not exactly. But we are saying that if they come out to present themselves as flag bearers,
maybe it's time you change the executives. Maybe it's time you change.
You see, don't underrate or undermine the capabilities of the women in power in terms of our party now. They are doing tremendously well as compared to their,
but to be fair to me, I never mentioned that.
In terms of
that, I never mentioned any woman in power.
Well,
or in office. To be fair to me, I didn't say that.
You haven't mentioned that. Yes,
I believe in women being bosses.
Yes, you haven't mentioned that. But what I'm saying is that it is up to those who are interested in leading, in terms of flag bearership, to come forward, and we'll you will get to know, because you are in the media circles.
Very well. Thank you very much.
We have now, we feel confident in them, and we know that they will bring a change to this party.
Thank you very much, Atani. Atani Tano is Deputy CPP Communications Director, and we've been talking about the rebirth of the CPP. Over the weekend at their National Delegates Congress, there were calls again for a rebirth of the CPP. He tells us it's a continuous process, but a climax you'd see in the 2016 general elections. I'm totally grateful for the messages you sent on our social media platforms. Maybe more grateful you stay through the year. See you again at midday on News Today. Stay on for the rest of our broadcast. My name is Kemini Nyamani Amano, and this has been Newsdesk.